Whoa, I dropped my glasses. I don't know, these glasses are, what they call them. Grant? No? I think I put a little bit too much whiskey in this. It's okay. I probably should add some hot cider to it, or not hot. Add some cider to it. So I was inspired. I was inspired today to do a little bit of a comedy vlogging. At least I think I'm going to try to do comedy. Because as a matter of fact, I haven't been very successful at it. But at first you don't succeed. Keep on trying until you just can't, until you fail too many times. I was working at Disneyland about 20 years ago. I was working at Disneyland, and you know that I heard I was working on the parking lot tram. On the back of the tram in the parking lot, when you're like you park your car and then you got to have a ride to the front gate. There was this one girl that was talking to me on the back of the tram. It's called Rear Tram RT. And I was on the back of the tram, and this one lady said to me, she said, if you have dreams, pursue your dreams. And if you fail at your dream, it's probably not your dream. I never actually had a dream to be a comedian, but you know, I said to myself, I could broadcast myself and see what happens. But I can't get into any controversial stuff because apparently you can't get into any controversial stuff. No one's going to watch your videos. So I said to myself, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to just talk about my pursuit to comedy. Or the lack of comedy. But maybe something funny will happen during this comedy. And then maybe I'll figure out the formula. Because there's always a formula. Just like in music, there's a formula. There's melody, there's rhythm, there's harmony, and another one. I don't even know that. There's rats in the bushes. I could hear them. You got to set the rat trap up. The other day I set a rat trap. The rat kept on eating all the friggin' peanut butter off of it. Then I started to get a little bit smarter to make it harder for the peanut butter to come off. I caught a rat. It was what they call it, juvenile rat. Juvenile delinquent rat. I could cut all the part that I was coughing. I just edit it out. No one will ever know. I was like choking on smoke. So I was looking at tips for video. You gotta talk fast. So I'm gonna talk about something that happened to me, and then that way, hopefully, it'll make some sense and it'll be fast. Like it's a good pace. Like I was watching him in a comedy show, and most of the comedy show stuff, you know, they talk really, you know, shoot. I think when I move fast. Maybe there's some stabilizer and a picture thingy on the phone. Okay, so this is what happened. So I'm trying to study comedy. So I guess being a little pagan, I had like things lined up, you know, the situation lined up for me just right. You know, I was like, okay, you know, this is what happened. I was jonesing for some beer, something unique, something different. So I went to Bevmo over here by my house. Went in there, I get my beer, and on the way out of there, I saw a guy in the car. I said, I recognize him. I think he's a celebrity, an actor. And so he took the mask off to use the phone or something. He had his mask on while he was in the car. Guess who it was? DLHugley. He had a comedy show, I think in the 90s, called the Hugleys or something like that. And so I was all excited. I was like, man, I'm going to go home and look him up. Maybe it was an omen. You know, like pagan garbage, you know, being a pagan. I mean, seriously, I never realized how pagan I am when I think about like, oh, shoot, I saw something on the street. Oh, that means A is going to happen. No, it's just wrong mentality. My smoke went out. Let me refresh in my smoke. I'm gonna catch my hat on fire one day. That would be comedy. Probably hurt my forehead, lose my hair, burn my eyebrows. So I looked up DLHugley on the internet. He's not funny anymore, man. It was just this whole rant about Terry Crews. Imagine two people of the same ethnicity arguing about stuff. About like, oh, well, he is an Uncle Tom or whatever. And you know, honestly, the first time ever I heard about Uncle Tom was the Geraldo special. Shoot. Maybe that was early 90s, late 80s. I don't really remember. Geraldo was interviewing some skinheads, and then on one side, on the other side, he was interviewing some black group. Whatever, you know, of course, you got to put them on the same stage. Drama, pure drama. So, the skinhead called the black guy that was on the show an Uncle Tom. He called him an Uncle Tom. I'm not sure what the contents was, but afterwards there was a big fight. That was the beginning of having the fights on stage during these interview shows. Geraldo was interviewing, and then it was a big fight. Throwing chairs at each other. It was a big scuffle, made the news and all this stuff. Because the skinhead called the black guy an Uncle Tom. Now, fast forward in time, and now, you know, you got a black person calling another black person Uncle Tom. Because supposedly maybe Terry Crews was acting too white. Whatever that means, I don't know. I'm just telling you this story. Which is like, it's bizarre to me. I may be totally off base. But to my surprise, DLHugley's not funny anymore. Maybe he never was funny. I don't know. I know I'm not funny. I'm 45 years old trying to figure out what to do with my life. I mean, that's comedy right there. Maybe that's what I should be talking about. It's like, my dad, when he was 45, he had a house, 2 kids, a car. Dude was a gun collector. Woo! Man, up until his breakdown, he had to have had like 40 or 50 guns. All shapes and sizes, probably 20-something handguns, 20-something rifles. He actually had an AR-15, but apparently it's illegal in California, so he had to get rid of it. He did buy it before it was illegal, as far as I know. Man, it broke his heart to get rid of it because he never even had a chance to shoot it. Last time I smoked cigars in the house, it stunk really bad. And as a good uncle, I blamed my niece for burning some food in the house. She did make the house stink, but the cigars made the house stink worse. So I'm not smoking in the house anymore. Not a good idea. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have a pipe. I'm going to smoke a pipe of tobacco. Okay, now it's smoking. Doing little swirls with the smoke. You know, I guess it works for sure. My gosh, I think I got up. Not doing good this time. Good thing I have that whiskey right there to break up that little freaking smoke inhalation. Anyways, like I was saying, Chappelle. So I'm inspired by Chappelle. The dude, I think he's like a couple years older than me. Out of success. He could sit and talk for. He could sit and talk about anything. People watch him. He doesn't have to be funny. He even said on the Saturday Night Live, "Oh, people don't want to hear me talk unless there's a punchline at the end." Yeah, well, if you're a comedian, people want to laugh. He went on this. I mean, there might be like a pattern here, what I'm talking about, and maybe I'm not supposed to talk about certain things. I could tell you what I see, and it's not good. European countries could fight over religion, but this country's going to fight about, if you know what I mean. I'm pointing at my face. I'm pointing at my lack of color. So I was watching Kevin Hart last night, trying to get some ideas. Foul language, you know. One of my videos I said, "It's a goddamn devil." That's appropriate use because the devil's damned. He's damned and he's going to go to the lake of fire. Yep, if you knew about your fate, you're probably going to be a jerk about it too. But the difference between humans and the angels were in the presence of God. So they really have no excuse for their disobedience. But like that's a still mystery that I can't talk about. I wait till the smoke moves out of the way before I start talking again, because you need air to make your voice work. So this is a crazy year, 2020. And I'm telling everybody 2021 is going to be way more fun. I predict we're going to have two presidents. Not sure how anything's going to get done. It might not be that long. It might be a couple months. Because look, they never had office of president-elect. Hey, at least he could stay in his basement. It won't cost the taxpayers that much money because he'll be in his basement, whatever. And then Kamala could go and do her little crusade campaign, garbage, whatever. Trump, on the other hand, you know he's going to leave office if, if he has to. You know? There's just too much controversy, man. The 1-9 really ruined the year. The 1-9 really ruined the year, dude. No doubt. We don't even talk about where it originated anymore. Not sure why we don't. You hear in there they're talking about China. But man, isn't it ironic though? Communist China and then Communist United States, huh? United Soviet States of America? Could that happen? I don't know. Maybe that's not that funny when you think about it. Anyways, going back to trying to do my research for comedy. Yeah. Oh, there's my hot cider now. It's probably really hot. Yeah. It's hot. It's kind of too cold out there for a big old beer, so I'm not going to drink a beer today. This actually should cool it off. Woo, look at that, fog it up. There's not that much left in there. I think that would be insulting. I'll leave it. So I was watching this other comedian tonight too, Sean Pierce. Supposed to be a clean comedian. She had hit and miss on the funny. Maybe I just don't even have a sense of humor anymore. I could be at work all day long being sarcastic, making fun of people, talking crap, and making people laugh. I resort to some crude, bad talk. I gotta figure out how to be funny without resorting to the cheap, vulgar stuff. And then being called out because people know at my job that I'm a Christian. And then I start, being unchristian. Just for a laugh. Man, why is that stuff funny? Dang. Sin is funny, dude, when you think about it. Shoot, you think about the 7 deadly sins and you're like, wow, that crap's funny. Eating so much that you throw up. Gluttony. Covetousness. Greed. It's like, man, didn't work out for me this year. I don't even have my own car to drive. I have to borrow a car. I'm not even sure how that even panned out, though. It's kind of like I said, if I read, if I lost my mind, will it help to retrace my steps? Nah, maybe. I don't know, but I know there's some critters out in the yard. frick, I hate raccoons. I was watching this one video. This one guy was feeding the raccoons hot dogs. Sick. Man. They look cute, I guess. They look very interesting. But man, they're like, they're not. They're not. They destroy property. They probably got the COVID. They probably carried a COVID one night. Is that okay? No. Don't want to get that. It's like, you know, North America got raccoons. South America got monkeys. I don't know. If we had monkeys in North America, I wonder if it would be better than raccoons. I didn't grow up with monkeys. I grew up with raccoons. No, I didn't even grow up with raccoons. Where I grew up in Norwalk, I never even saw a raccoon. I think I saw a possum, rats. They have skunks around here too. Man, supposedly skunks are brave. They won't even back off. They'll back off. They'll freaking spray you with their little freaking butt gland. That won't be very good. It'll be stinking. And I like my jumpsuit. I don't want to ruin my jumpsuit. Anyways, if you have any suggestions on how I can make my comedy more funny, leave a comment. If you have any ideas for good drinks, leave a comment. It's cold tonight. This jumpsuit's perfect. This jumpsuit, like, I wore it during the summer to work on my car. Yeah, too hot. Way too hot. Well, tonight is my my drink and my smoke night. I only do it once a week at the most. I don't think I had a smoke for a couple weeks actually. You know, this cup reminds me, did I tell you about the whole Amy Coney Barrett? She was doing her hearing to see if she's gonna be nominated, or her confirmation hearing. There you go, confirmation hearing. She had a Starbucks cup on her counter. I certainly hope Starbucks like sent her free coffee or something. Really. Or maybe she doesn't even drink coffee. Maybe it was maybe it was a tea, but no, it was probably a coffee. Yeah, it's likely to be a coffee. Anyways, I got my free coffee today. Being an essential worker, I guess for the rest of the month you get free coffee. But it's just one of those things, man. You know, you got to go through life. Man, I mean, seriously, I've been, today is exactly 1 month after I turned 45. December 5th. Today's December 5th. I turned 45 November 5th. Still don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I'm not happy in my situation. Like I was telling you already when I'm trying to have a coherent thought. My dad was more accomplished. Where are we now? If you're a 45-year-old person and you're like living in a property that's not really yours, belongs to the family, but it's not really yours. You can't really do much with it without getting a written authorization from the rest of the family. So where are you these days? DLHugley. I think he's older than me. I don't even know. Yeah, he has to be older than me. Could comedians tell a story? Or could comedians be politically active in their comedy sketch? Because good comedy will make you think. It should be thought-provoking. Just like good music, the best music I've heard, the lyrics are very thought-provoking. But like I said, if you got this far in my video, thank you for watching. And try some whiskey and hot apple cider if you're 21 or you're legal age in your country to drink. Woo, that's potent now. Today's comedy special is brought to you by hot cider, old-fashioned cider with a little bit of whiskey.